I have built my platform on 100% being myself. I don't know what to do other than that. And it's worked. And why would I pivot? You know, why would I try to play this character online if what's connecting is obviously me? And I didn't force this, or this all just kind of happened because I was being myself online. And so I want to honor that. And I think that it's really the feedback that I get, as scary as it is to do that, to sort of bare your soul, because it's different than if you're a singer or if you're an actor. If someone doesn't like what you've done, they don't like your work.
Yeah, but this is personal to you.
This is, if someone is saying some bullshit about me online, it's a direct attack on me as a person, is how I interpret it. And because I'm a people pleaser, it's always like, the fact that anyone could ever have a negative impression of me keeps me up at night, because it's like, do I need to check myself? Like, are they reflecting what I'm putting out? Is this people who just want attention and are, you know, like, it's so hard to sift through the garbage online to get actually down to the fear everyone has. Am I a bad person? Did I fuck up? Do I need to apologize? Do I whatever? And so being yourself online is so easy. But at the same time, there's this dark side of the coin that is so, so scary, because I'm getting praise for being myself, but you're on a pedestal. So if you say something out of turn, or if you don't have the right opinion on something, if you are not caught up with, you know, what's happening in the world, if you don't read the room, it's like you can have your career taken from you. And that's a very scary thing to think about, because none of it's intentional, but it's intent versus impact. And it's very like, I'm trying to grapple with it still. I've been doing this for 4 fucking years, and it's still like every day's a new day.
Oh, it doesn't get easier. And you're going to make mistakes along the way. Trust me.
Love that.
Because it is true. Like,
yeah.
Intent versus impact.
Mm-hmm.
It is really frightening, because I think a lot of normal things for a lot of other people would just fly under the radar, when the reality is like,
absolutely non-consequential text message threads and conversations and things said in jest. All of that becomes literal and serious when it's coming from my mouth, because people don't understand nuance. They don't understand that I'm a fucking comedian. Everything I say is funny, or the goal is to be funny. And so they take things out of context willfully, and they willfully interpret things wrong to make a scene. And when you do that, and when you throw around terms that are accusatory, first of all, you lessen the meaning of those terms.
Totally. You also disrespect the victims who are on the receiving end of them.
100%. Because you're throwing them at me, which, if you know anything about me, my entire platform is based on allyship. And allyship, there are missteps there. But the end goal and holding yourself accountable is that you are working to better yourself, to better your allyship, and to be, you know, what people need you to be as a white woman with a platform. And so I have misstepped, and I'm the first person to admit that. But at the same time, there is a standard here that men who do my job are not held to at all, not even close. And they can get canceled and pop right back up. If a woman gets canceled online, you're done. Delete your account, you know? And so it's like, that's a terrifying double standard of this job. And it's something that I had to accept, and it's not fair, but it is something that you have to live with, and it's fine, I guess. Sure.
It's not fine, and it's very real.
Well, no, that's interesting, because you have people like Theo Von and like Dave Portnoy. They can say whatever the fuck they want.
Absolutely.
And nobody's going to even blink an eye.
Mm-hmm.
And you could say like one wrong thing, it's like, oh, she's the worst person in the world.
If I said anything like what Theo Von says online, I would have been canceled before I even started.
Yeah.
You know, and it's because there is this blanket misogyny online of people who don't think women are smart enough to be funny. And so I'm battling that. I'm battling people think I'm dumb. People think I'm not funny because I'm a woman. And they love to comment on my body also, because I guess that's up for discussion. Mm-hmm. No one's commenting on Theo Von's fucking body. So I'm like fighting all of these. And I know that in my heart of hearts, usually when I am in conversation with a funny man, I'm 100 times funnier than him and smarter. And I know that, but I have to fight twice as hard to get people to also feel that way. And I feel like the number one reflection of that was I went on the Tiny Meat Gang podcast. I love Cody and Noel. Like, the reason I tried kombucha is because of their video. I love them. I went on that podcast, and all of the comments were like, Why is she literally funnier than them? They're having trouble keeping up with her. Like this, that, and the other. It's a weird energy. Like Brittany's asking them questions. They're not asking, and it's like, I know all of these things and I still love Cody and Noelle and I love their dynamic and I had a blast on the show, but it's very validating to see that online where people are recognizing me as this comedic entity instead of like that fat girl who drank kombucha. It's like, can we be fucking serious for a second? And so it's very validating when people are like, she is holding her own, she's going toe to toe, and she's also kind of beating them.
But,
it's like, let's go.
But that's like, what does it say to those two that they're, I don't know. What, you go?
Well, I mean, no, like sit here, listen, like we can be entertaining at times, but she is blowing everybody out of the water. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just sitting here in silence, like I can't compete. There's nothing I can do here.
You're sitting here in silence, like, where the fuck does she live?
Yeah, like, what is her fucking address? But do you feel like you need to put yourself in front of different audiences to get that wider audience so people are like, wait a minute, this bitch is funny.
100%.
Excuse my language. This bitch is funny.
Well, yeah. I mean, and that's also, I knew going on that podcast, the majority of their audience it's split kind of 50-50 with straight women and straight men. And when I went on the H3 podcast as well, that's a lot of straight men and recently gays and girls. And so I go into these environments knowing that this is not going to be everybody's flavor of Kool-Aid that they love, but I hope that they'll give it a chance. And like by and large, it's a positive response online, which is I'm so glad that I can, first and foremost, entertain people. We're here to entertain people, bitch. Like at the end of the day, I'll give you entertainment, but I also want to have them leave that piece of content having a little pep in their step, to have a better day. And to get a straight man to feel that way about something I put online is a task. It's also like, I don't really give a fuck about straight men's approval, but in order to make it to a household name, you have to break into that audience, where straight men are talking about you, or even like, not talking about you, but recognizing you as, I don't know, a human with thoughts and feelings instead of like that meme. So that's kind of with my relationship with the straight male community. That's where it ended, was the meme. So how do we kind of permeate that membrane and get in there? So that is the goal. And I hope that that's the goal or the effect of Royal Court is when we have those guests on that are Jack Harlow or, Lil Yachty or Khalid or whoever, that we can kind of like, I'm bringing their audience in and they're watching it, and I hope they enjoy it so much that they stick around and they watch other episodes. Kind of like with Hot Ones, Sean Evans is so fucking good at what he does. If I'm not watching it for the guest, if I don't know the guest, I know I'm going to enjoy Sean Evans' interview, and I'm going to enjoy the guest reaction to eating the wings and also being shocked that Sean Evans knows that information. Like, it's just, that is the goal. So yeah, straight male community, not my target audience, but it's a win if I can make them giggle, because they're violently misogynistic, to say the least. Just as a little bullet point.